All right, today we are cracking a centuries-old historical code that's been hiding in plain sight, right on the map of Italy. It's a fantastic story of conquest, language, and a heritage that's been submerged until now.
So let's just dive right in with a question that seems to defy all logic. Why are there so many places in Italy called Lago, which, means lake, that have no lake? Not even a puddle. It's a genuine puzzle that kind of messes with your head.
Okay, we all know what a lake is supposed to look like. It's a big, obvious body of water. Simple enough, right?
But then you get this. You look at a map and you find a place called Il Lago, the lake, and it's sitting on a totally dry, high-altitude peak. No water for miles. And this isn't just some weird one-off thing. It's a pattern. So what is really going on here? To figure this out, we're going to start with a perfect case study, the town of Lagonebro. The name literally translates to Black Lake, and it holds the key that's going to unlock this entire mystery for us. For centuries, the local story has been about this legend of a dark, mysterious lake that once sat at the foot of the castle and then just, poof, disappeared. It's a great story, but geologists and historians have a big problem with it. There is absolutely no evidence, not physical, not in any documents, that this lake ever existed.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Lagonegro is not alone, not by a long shot. All across Italy, from Castel del Lago to Bardonecchia, we find these lakeless lakes. It's this massive geographical contradiction that all points to a single, forgotten explanation.
The answer, it turns out, isn't in the ground. It's in history and in language. We have to rewind the clock all the way back to the 6th century, to a Germanic people who swept down and conquered a huge chunk of Italy, the Lombards. Okay, this is the whole shebang right here. The Lago in these place names, it doesn't come from the Latin word for lake, lacus, nope. It comes from the old Lombard word lagar, which means a fortified camp or a military garrison. These places weren't named for water, they were named for war.
You can actually see the word's journey through time here. It started with an ancient root word for to lie or to be situated, which evolved into that Germanic and Lombard lagar. Then, over hundreds of years, as the Lombard language faded and Italian dialects took over, lagar just phonetically softened into lago. And it's a total coincidence that it sounds exactly like the Latin-derived word for lake.
Now let's switch over to the maps, because this is where all the evidence becomes absolutely undeniable. This is where it all clicks into place.
So this map shows the path the Lombards took, migrating from northern Europe down into Italy. Now look at those red pins. Those are all places with Lago in their name. And you can see they aren't random at all. They perfectly trace the Lombard routes of invasion and settlement. It's like a fossil record of their conquest. And these weren't just any old spots. The Lombards placed their lagar encampments with serious military precision, on high ground for defense, controlling major ancient Roman roads like the Via Appia, and forming a fortified border, a limes, against their rivals, the Byzantine Empire.
And if we just zoom in to a single region, the former Lombard territory of Lucania in southern Italy, the pattern is just staggering. Researchers have found over 60 places with that lag root name, all without lakes. This wasn't accidental. This was a systematic network of control.
So you see, this whole discovery is about so much more than just solving a word puzzle. It's really about uncovering the deep and, honestly, often underestimated influence the Lombards had on the very fabric of Italy. A researcher named Giuseppe Griecu put it perfectly. He said, this reveals how much of the Middle Ages is still with us every day, without our knowledge. And that's so true. History isn't just in textbooks. It's literally written into the names of the towns we drive through, completely hidden in plain sight. So why is cracking this code so important? What do we really gain from knowing a lago was once a lagar? Well, let's go back to our case study, Lagonegro. The town's official motto, you can see it here on its coat of arms, is immersus emergo, submerged, I emerge. It's the perfect metaphor. For 1,500 years, the town's real Lombard history was submerged beneath this simple linguistic mistake, and now it's finally re-emerging into the light. By understanding these names, we are literally redrawing the map of early medieval Italy. We're recovering a lost story of conquest and administration, and we're finally giving credit to a fundamental piece of Italian heritage that has been misunderstood for centuries.
And this leaves us with one last provocative thought. If a story this big can hide in a word as simple as lake, What other forgotten histories are buried in the names of the places all around us? The next time you look at a map, just remember, you might be looking at a treasure chest, just waiting to be opened.